Hello and welcome to another video. So tonight it is Sunday night. We have had a busy weekend putting up the tree, sorting out the house, that kind of thing. So tonight I'm going to do a roast beef dinner. So we're going to have roast beef, Yorkshire puddings, veggies, roast taties, and I'm going to make a dessert as well. So if you'd like to cook along with me. Okay, here we go. Recorded the sound over because unfortunately the sound didn't take. So this is what you'll need for dessert. We have a mixing bowl, a pan and a lined tin. So a non-stick pan. And we're going to start our dessert off to make the dry part. So we're going to crush some digestive biscuits, some glacé cherries chopped in half, and some dried fruit. So we're going to get all that crushed down and into the bowl. There we are. So that's all our dry ingredients. You don't need the biscuits too small for this, like a cheesecake. You just need them crushed down to smallish pieces and mix well with your dried fruit and your chopped cherries. You can add marshmallows to this. I didn't have any, so we just went with those, what we've got at the moment. And next up, we're going to get some dark chocolate into the pan. So this is going to be our wet mix to mix with our dry. So this is a fridge cake. It goes into the fridge. There's no baking required. So I'm just breaking up some dark chocolate. The chocolate I'm using is, I think, 36% dark. The darker the better with this, really, because you're going to add some golden syrup to it and some butter. And you've already got the lovely sweetness of all the biscuits and the cherries and the dried fruits. So nice dark chocolate works well with this. I'm just getting all this into the pan now. So you can do this in a bain-marie as well. I prefer to do this in a pan, non-stick pan on a very low heat. I struggle a little bit with bain-maries. Maybe not. Because I don't quite have a bowl that fits perfectly. And obviously you don't want the water going into it. So I do it in my little non-stick pan. Doesn't need to be broken up, probably quite as small as I'm doing it, but there we go. And get it all broken down. And the heat is on, I think I've got it on 2. Using a plastic spatula. Just helps you kind of control as it melts. To that I'm going to add about 25 grams of butter, unsalted butter, because again this helps once the dark chocolate is melted. You don't want it resetting solid, you need it to have that little bit of softness to it. So the butter just helps with that, so when you put it in the fridge it kind of doesn't set quite as hard, along with the golden syrup. So we're just going to let that melt all the way through. I'm not entirely sure what happened with the sound in this part, so there we go. Okay, so just adding some golden syrup. So I tend to add just like 1 or 2 dessert spoons. So this is actually half the recipe I've done here. You can double this recipe up and it makes 2 loaves, but because there's only 2 of us, I just wanted to make the 1. So now that's all nice and melted. The butter's melted into the chocolate. And the golden syrup's in there. Again, helps with that kind of stickiness when it goes in the fridge to set. So that's nice and melted. And what we're going to do, because it's quite a matte colour, you can see that it's a matte chocolate at the moment, we're going to add a single egg. And the egg will just help temper that chocolate and make it so that it's got a lovely glossy finish to it. So I'm just going to crack 1 egg in, and you want to do this while it's still on the heat because you need the egg obviously to cook. You don't want raw eggs in a dessert that's not being cooked. And as we stir it through in a second, it'll start to temper the chocolate and give it a nice shine. This recipe actually came from a Green and Black's chocolate recipe book. It's one that I do usually for parties or puddings, and it always goes down well. You can see that that chocolate now has changed from a matte to a nice glossy mix. And once that egg is fully incorporated, and it's had a few minutes just to cook through, we're going to add our chocolate to our dry mix. And this is a good cook and forget. You can, once it's all done, you pop it in the fridge for 2 or 3 hours, and then it's ready when it's ready. So it's a good one if you are doing a party or something like that. You can get it all nice and in the fridge and forget about it. It doesn't need any more cooking. So we're going to add our chocolate to our biscuits and fruit. Again, using a spatula helps you get it all out the pan as well. I don't have my sous chef in the kitchen with me, so there's no licking out the pan today. So once that's in, you need to make sure it works and covers all of that dry. Just sort of folding it together, and using a spatula means you can get underneath and make sure that it is all completely covered. Oh, I am making a meal of this. It's different when you watch your videos back. Once you've actually done the video, you realise how much you're doing. And obviously I can't remember what I was saying at this point. So that goes into the tin. Again, spatula means you can give your bowl a good scrape out. You don't need to push this down, you just need to smooth it out so it's a nice even top. You can pop cherries on the top, some people ice the top of it. I think it's enough because it is a very rich dessert. You don't need a big slice of this. It can get a bit sickly after a while. So just even out the top. And then that goes into the fridge for 2 or 3 hours to set. And that will be ready when we're ready, once we've had our main meal. Okay, so we are cracking on with our beef now. So I have a beef joint that I got from Aldi. Someone recommended in the comments to wash your meat. So I did just give this, I think I gave it a rinse. Yes, there we go. So that's our joint in. And then I've just made up some beef stock. Again, that I'm just popping in the bottom because it helps keep it moist. There's nothing worse, especially with beef, than it completely drying out. Dried meat is never good. So we've got all of our stock onto there. Okay, so I'm just adding some garlic to the top. Just to season that outside. And then I think I'm going to cover it with foil. And then it's going to go into the oven at 170 for an hour before we do anything else. You know, I've got our veg prepped, so we have our potatoes and carrots. They're in there with a little bit of butter and some oil. Just to drizzle over the top, just so you get that lovely crunchy outside. So these aren't going in yet, I'm just prepping ahead. And then to the top we're going to add some garlic. And I think a little bit of salt. Yep. And put them to one side so they are ready then to go into the oven after that meat's had its first hour cooking. Okay. So our beef has been in a while, so we're just going to get it out and give it a check and then get our roast veggies in. So we'll just get the beef out, see where we're at. Whew. get that oven turned up a bit now. Let's have a look. Oh. Just get some of that juice over the top, I think. Go. So that's going to go back in for another half an hour, and then it will come out to stand. So half an hour for that, and it's going to come out to stand. That can go back in. Go. And our potatoes and carrots going in. And we're just going to do our mix for our Yorkshire puddings. Yorkshire girl making Yorkshire puddings. So, here's a jug and a whisk. So, to get Yorkshire puddings to rise, the easiest way to do it is you want equal parts of flour, milk and eggs, and then you need some salt in there. So we'll crack our eggs first, get those in. Not the whole shell. 1. 2. 3. Just wash my hands. And a whisk. Flour. So I want an equal part of the flour. So this is plain flour. Self-raising can make them too doughy, so you end up with like that doughy base to them. Mix that in and see where we're at. For the life of me think why anyone would buy Aunt Bessie's when it's so easy to make your own at home. There we go. And then we just need some milk in there. So that's the basic mix. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of oil and some salt. So you just need a touch of oil, probably a teaspoon if that. It just helps with that crispiness. So a little bit of oil and a little bit of salt. And then leave your baked batter to sit at room temperature for at least half an hour, and then you beat it again. So if you put it straight in, you've got cold milk, cold eggs, it's going to take a lot longer. So leave it to sit just on the stove while there's nothing on, just to get it warmed up to room temperature. And then once that beef is done, we'll crank our oven all the way up and get our Yorkshire puddings in. Okay, so I'm just putting some, this is my Yorkshire pudding tin, hence why it being absolutely disgusting. Plus it's had Yorkshires in and I leave the...
It is clean though.
It's clean, it's just had Yorkshire pudding tin.
It's just marked.
And this is what
It's a quality Yorkshire pudding tin.
Yorkshire pudding people do, and I'm just adding a bit more lard.
Get the lard in.
It's already got some in, but I'm just adding a little bit more to get heating up. Then we've got our peas on.
Peas is on the left hob.
And I'm just going to lift out our beef. that will be done.
Let's get out of the way before you burn your bottom. Have a beefy bottom.
Oh.
Ooh.
Steamy windows.
Smell-o-vision. 4.
Here we are.
Look
There's
at
our
that.
beef. So that's going to sit and rest.
Have a little nap.
I'm going to get this tray in. And a quick check of our roasties and get them turned over. Oh, look at them. Oh, I need a scoop.
Scoop, huh?
Look at those. Just loosen them a little bit. There we go. Roasties are doing nice. So we'll get that fat in and we're going to get our oven cranked all the way up to 220
Crank it up.
to get that fat hot. So I'll have a little pause. So I'm just going to get our Yorkshire puddings in. Last step. Well, we've got our gravy to make, but we'll do that in a while when our Yorkshire puddings are done.
Lastminute.com. Oh.
So I've got our fat nice and hot. Time to get our puddings in. So, and that's how you know they're hot enough. They sizzle on contact. Oh, it's a bit full. A little bit more to that one and that one. Oh, some substantial puddings.
Oh.
Seeing as we've not got that many potatoes.
Big puds.
There we go. So they're going in now for 15 minutes.
15 minutes going in.
Going in. There we go. 15 minutes. Then we'll come back, make some gravy and serve up. Peas are done, the beef is out. We're going to get our gravy made and we're just going to have a quick look in the door at our Yorkshires. Oh, puffing up nicely. In fact, I need to have a little peep. Oh, Yorkshires are done. Yorkshires are done. Right, turn the oven off. Okay, so we're just going to get this heated up. Add a little bit of water. This is our meat juice. And then we're going to add just some meat gravy granules and get it all whisked up. So that will be our gravy. So the next time you see it, this will be served on a plate and Jason will be having a taste. God bit, guys, I just need to show you. Look at me Yorkshires. Ah, big Yorkshires, gravy, veggies, and a beautiful mid-rare beef. Yum. Look at them, well chuffed. Okay guys, here we go. Sunday dinner time. See what he thinks of his beef.
Can't eat beef at Yorkshire's.
Yorkshire girls make Yorkshire puddings proper. First time I've managed to cook a joint mid-rare as well. Or mid-well even. See what he thinks.
Juicy.
Juicy. There we go. So I won't film much of this because you'll know what Sunday dinner tastes like. So that's our Sunday dinner and then I will be back with pudding. Okay, pudding time. Let's see what he thinks. So this is like a rocky road kind of.
Oh, it's got substance. It's got some weight to it. Oh. I'm instantly getting chocolate. Chewy bits.
Cherries.
Crunchy bits.
Biscuit.
Chocolatey bits.
Well, it's going down.
Lovely.
So there you go, guys. That's what we had for Sunday dinner. What did you have? Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care out there. Bye.